Good afternoon. We're going to start this at 12 p.m. So we got another 13 minutes. I just want to make sure my sound is good before I start. For those who are tuning in, please give me a one if my sound is good. Just type in a one and let me know my sound is good. Okay, do I have a one? Can I get some ones? How's my sound? How's my sound? Okay. Thank you, Alexander. Yeah, these YouTube streets has been hot. They've been hot. Uh, I've been hearing a lot of stuff since I've been out the loop, so to speak. Uh, but we're going to address some of those things, and then we're going to talk about these new developments in the case of the government versus Robert Sylvester Kelly. But again, we're going to start at 12. We're going to start another 11 minutes. I just want to make sure the sound is good for those who are in. I got one from Alexander Williams. Can anyone else hear me that has tuned in? If you can hear me, give me a one. Type in a one on your keyboard. Look in front of your keyboard. If you're on the desktop, you're on your phone, just type in the letter one. I know Alexander can hear me. All right. Thank you. CC Black, thank you. Transformation Tiffany, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I guess you guys have been wondering where I've been. Last we talked, it probably was about a month ago. Uh, Clay, what's going on, Clay? How are you? Jocelyn, what's going on? Okay, I'll give you a shout outs early now before it gets a little crowded in the room. But I've been out of town. I've been traveling. I've been working on some major projects unrelated to news per se. Uh, and those who have been following my social media, been I'm the media director for production company, movie production company, and we put out two big movies in the last 2 weeks. Okay, that's what's up, Tiffany. So the movies, one of the movies is called True to the Game 3, starring Vivica A. Fox, Columbus Short, uh, Malik Bernhardt, Erica Peoples, uh, Jeremy Meeks, Darius McClary, Lil Mama, Tommy, and a whole host of different great talent. Yeah, I mean, Starletta, just so many different great talents in that movie. And then the Holiday Chance with Mr. Richard Lawson, Beyonce's stepdad, and Nafisa Williams, who plays Black Lightning. That's right, Nafisa. Yeah, Nafisa Williams. She's an awesome actress, as well as Dorian. I mean, I have a cast list, so many talents that were a part of both productions. We're actually still coordinating more interviews. They're actually going to be on the cover for Holiday Chance. Going to be on the cover of Rolling Out for the Christmas issue. So we're setting that up today. We had the red carpet in LA. This is, I tell you why it's just so huge. I've been in media for over 30 years in different areas, from news to publicity to marketing and promotion. But this is the first time I've hosted, produced a red carpet in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, Walk of Fame, at the Chinese Theater. It was very, very, very inspiring, to say the least, to be able to produce such a great event with a great team at the spot where stars are made, at the Chinese Theater. So that's huge. And then we took it to 4 different cities. We were in Los Angeles, Atlanta. We had our premiere last week in Atlanta. Then we had Miami, and then we had Detroit. And just look at the turnout was ridiculous. The turnout was awesome. And I'm glad those people who came out. I appreciate that, Alexander. But I'm so glad that I had a great team. We had no issues. We had, I'm like a drill sergeant when it comes to producing events. I have to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Make sure that our security is on point. Make sure our hosts, our escorts are on point. Make sure that the invites are sent out to all the key people that are, as well as the ones in the movie, but the influencers, so they can obviously spread the word. And the reviews have been awesome. And we actually #1 for True to the Game for the first week out. This is our highest gross movie the first week out. So that is big. And not only is that big, but the fact that we have 2 movies coming out back to back under the same production with a great turnout, it says a lot about the team that you roll with. And this was a collective. I didn't do it by myself. I had a team from the West Coast team, an East Coast team, a South Coast team, and a Midwest team. But we got it done. I'm actually been going to various movies in around the country, and doing pop-ups and getting some of the talent that are starring in the respective movies to either go live at the movie theater and talk to the fans. But when I tell you, we killed it. We killed it. That's right, Alexander. Highest grossing independent Black film in the country. And we did it. #1. We did it. We had True to Game 1, True to Game 2. Well, when I tell you True to Game 3, man. So we actually, those who haven't been able to make it out to the movie theater for one reason or another, we're actually going to be releasing the movie to where you can buy the movie and watch it in the comforts of your home. Then we're not going to Netflix just yet, or BET. We're going to make it available so you can watch it at home. So there'll be another release done in the next day or so, where we're going to announce the platforms where you can purchase the movie and watch the movie and tell a friend to tell a friend. I mean, you can pop your popcorn in your home. I like to go to movie theaters. I just like the whole energy of going to a movie theater, sitting down and just kicking back. But I think I have a big enough TV at home to do that too. But it's just the whole thing about getting back into the swing of things in 2021 after pandemic. So it was great seeing all the people that came out. I had people that came out that I was surprised. We had Mike Tyson, we had Floyd Mayweather, Floyd in one side of the theater, we had Mike Tyson on the other side, we had Princess Love, I believe that's Ray J's ex. We had Tamika Raymond. We had, we just had a lot of celebrities that came out. My man Sticky Fingers, shout out to Sticky Fingers. Yeah, he actually, I didn't realize, but he played Blade, the second one that played Blade. we politic, but we are definitely going to be doing something with the brother. You know, Sticky Fingers is a legend in hip hop. Uh, you know, him and his, him and the whole posse. A legend in hip hop, and I just love what we're doing. I love what my brother Manny is doing. Man, shout out to Manny Haley, Rodney Turner, Yolanda Haley, and then the whole production team for grinding hard, believing in it. And shout out to Terry Woods. Terry Woods obviously is the author of the book True to the Game. And if not for Terry's vision on creating this great piece of work, uh, it wouldn't have been possible for Manny and in the production to put out such a good movie. I mean, it's a lot of work, and I tell you, long nights, but we did it. And we didn't stop it. Some cool stuff was about to happen as well. And then the Holiday Chance, really cool movie to take the family to. It's really, I mean, when you look at the trailer, it just gives you an overview of how this family, who I can't give the plot away. Let's just say that these things happen in our families, and when you see the dynamics of Nafisa Williams and Mr. Richard Lawson, as well as the other actors, you'll see that they brought the A game. They totally brought the A game. So, guys, yeah, it's 12. It's 11:59. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Again, I've been out the loop, but not really out the loop. But I couldn't really address some of the things because I'm working. Working, and I had to keep these things separate. But I want to first and foremost say, you guys need to check out my brother Choke No Joke and his video channel, because he has done amazing work. While obviously I haven't been, last time I see Choke was when we went out to the R. Kelly's former home in his neighborhood in Georgia. But since then, he's been making sure that uh, he's he's been making sure that the whole quest for truthfulness is, you know, being brought to the forefront. And when I say he's been doing this thing, he's been doing this thing. He's been reading letters that were personally sent to him by R. Kelly from inside the Brooklyn Federal Holding Detention Center. And I will tell you, for those who are questioning whether or not these letters are from R. Kelly, well, I would just say that I've known Choke for many years, and he would not read something that is not legitimately obtained. So yes, and when I say that those letters, the ones that he's been reading on his channel, it sheds a bigger picture on the whole trial and what happened leading up to this trial. And what we didn't know, and what I didn't know as I covered the trial in Brooklyn, that the treatment that he was receiving leading up to the trial had a very adverse effect on the outcome. A very adverse effect on the outcome. And if we to believe what R. Kelly is saying in these letters are true, he definitely has grounds for an appeal. The fact that he's told Choke in the letter that he didn't get his discovery until 2 weeks after his trial. That's a problem. That's a problem. And this is what he said to Choke, and Choke has read the letter online. So if he didn't get his discovery until after the trial, then who had access to this discovery? And if his attorneys didn't have access to the full discovery, or he should, even if his attorneys had this discovery, he should have had it because they represent him. And if he didn't see the discovery leading up to his trial, that poses a problem. and if there were any mechanisms put in place whereby he wasn't able to uh, get a fair trial, definitely grounds for appeal. So there was a lot of things that uh, R. Kelly said in those letters, and one of the things he confirmed that I broke during the trial, the day of the verdict, literally an hour before the verdict came in, I revealed that R. Kelly was in fact engaged to Joycelyn Savage, and he has confirmed that in his letters that that is in fact correct. He is engaged to Joycelyn Savage, and from the letter, it appears that their plan is to be married. And when I heard that, I had a few questions. One of the questions I had was, why didn't she testify in this trial? That hasn't been answered yet, and hopefully during the communication that uh, Choke is reading on his channel will reveal the reason why she didn't testify in this trial, because it's obvious that those two are in communication. Uh, there were some very sad things and very disappointing things that I heard in the letter. Um, and one of the things that R. Kelly has revealed is the fact that he was put in the SHU, which is called the SHU. I know Choke says SHU, but it's called the SHU, which is a special housing unit. It's usually for people that create problems in the facility or for someone's safety. But apparently, he was put in the SHU, which he didn't want to be put in the SHU for we don't even know why. Uh, sure, he's a high profile people, but a lot of people go to federal prison or federal jail or trial for a case like that are high profile. They're likely a high profile. Uh, but in his case, he didn't know why, and we don't know if that was a strategic plan by the detention center, to drag him, so to speak, until he get to his trial. Uh, I see now. People know that I'm on live and they calling me, but that's okay. We get back here in 1 second, guys. Hold on. I thought I lost you for a second. Give me 1 second. This is. Hold on. So looking at and listening to Chalk read these letters, definitely his appeal attorney has a lot of work on her hands. Uh, and the fact that his sentencing is May 4th at 10 a.m. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack. Uh, but I also want to slightly address one thing. I don't want to put too much time on it, but there's been a lot of uh, let's just say capping happening as it relates to uh, the people who have been claiming to be uh, family members or doing things in his best interest. And I would just say that there are people that have come and have made a living off of talking about R. Kelly, and they've done it in the most distasteful way. Um, I'm going to caution myself to speak about any particular person, but I would just say that there have been people that I've actually came in contact with that have done some very suspect things. And I would just say that be careful who you get your information from, because at the end of the day, you can see just the way they move, what their intentions are, and just watch. Just sit back sometimes and just watch how people move and some of the things they do. But I would just commend Choke for putting certain people on blast, certain people you kind of saved, and I'm not saving them. Me personally not going to save them. I'm just not going to talk about them, because if I talk about them, then that means that they have some kind of importance to me, but they really don't. But I trust me, I'm getting people's messages. I've seen some of the emails people have sent to me, but I just don't even give them any type of rhythm. You know why? Because they're irrelevant. Uh, and the only time they are relevant is when they are talking about this case, and even then, they're proven to be not credible. Okay, guys, please bear with me because I have a few things happening here, and I just got to sometimes go back and just shoot a quick text or respond. But I'm just giving people message to just hit me up in 15 about 30 minutes. I know it's rude, but hey, my life is busy. So Choke, I spoke to Choke. I do communicate with him. That's my guy. I've known him for many years, and he's from the neighborhood, so to speak. He's from the Bronx, but he's from still the neighborhood for me. Um, but yeah, just listen to the letters because there's a lot that Kelly is saying, and a lot of the stuff that people didn't know. They didn't know. Uh, but I would just say that all those saying that there's family and they're talking to me and everything. Well, it seems like R. Kelly's going to be talking to Choke in these letters and his attorney. That's all he's going to be talking to, Choke and his attorneys through this letter. Um, and of course, as I told him, those letters that he's receiving, they could have been put on a bigger platform, but because he trusts uh, Choke to put it out to the public, and I didn't press him Choke much to put it on a bigger platform. The fact of the matter is, if we're talking about it and the right people are talking about it and they're encoding the information that's being provided by R. Kelly, people can make their own judgment based on, listening to what he's saying and listening to what the testimony was during the trial. Uh, and he's calling people out. And I believe Choke said he has another 100 pages to read. Um, and I think it's good. I think it's good. What's up, Sylvia? How you doing? Sylvia, Brooklyn in the house. That's what's up. Yeah, I had to shout out Sylvia, so infamous Sylvia. Um, cool sister, good energy, good vibes. You know, just want to shout out real quick. Tiffany, how you doing? I see you. I see you got the. I see what you're doing, Tiffany. Alexander, I see you in the building. Clay, what's up, Clay? So yeah, I will be covering his trial in Illinois. Uh, I will be bringing. I'm waiting for some documents. I reached out to someone out there in Illinois to send to me, but I will be covering the trial in Illinois, and I will also be at the sentencing in New York. As long as I'm not committed to something else, I plan on being in New York. I will be in New York for Fashion Week in February as well, but it's nothing happening in New York outside as it relates to his trial. Just waiting for all the dates, and once I have them, I will be, I will share it for those. I know Sylvia's on top of it. She's watching the docket. I don't know who else is watching the docket, but for the most part, I think that these letters are telling. And when I say telling, he said something about his relationship with Holly, Haley. It was four young ladies. Only one testified in that. In when he that was Hallie Calhoun that testified. But he talked about how he spent $20,000 uh, on per girl to have, for example, these augmentation done. And it's interesting how, in his words, how they pretty much turned on him. Okay, I'm getting your message. I can't tell you who's right. I'm getting your message. But yeah, these letters are very telling. It almost makes you wonder why he didn't take the stand. Is is interesting based on what he's saying in these letters. Why didn't he take the stand? Um, So, and he also, he also feels based on those letters that his attorneys didn't have enough time to prepare. And I would, if what he's saying is factual, I would agree that the trial was kind of rushed. Uh, and we have to see what the filings are, but they are definitely grounds for, in my opinion, for a higher court to hear the evidence, and that's just based on what he felt. I mean, the fact that you as a defendant don't have your discovery is a problem, because if you know what the government has against you, or what they're going to put up against you, you then could prepare. He also spoke about his tablets and the devices that they had. Why wasn't anything on those tablets that would have supported him having uh, sex with underage people? And then he wasn't even charged with that. So it's a lot to unpack, and these letters are important. And it's important not just because he's been convicted, but it's important for him to even get to get a redress of these convictions. And he has from what I told you, he has a knowledgeable attorney, appeals attorney, but he has to also be careful when he goes to Illinois to not say certain things in those letters that can come back and bite him, so to speak. So I don't know how much the attorneys know about what he's sending, but he has to be careful uh, for his defense not to say certain things that would provide ammunition for the other jurisdictions to prosecute him. So it's a slippery slope right now. But I guess if I was in his shoes, I want to make sure that everyone knows that what's going on, uh, and before something happens. We obviously seen what happened with Epstein and his demise. We don't know if it's self-inflicted or it was by design, but definitely he has to be careful. You know, definitely has to be careful because he's saying that, like, for example, here's something that I did. I was a little concerned about when Choke read this, how he made a complaint about someone stealing from him. Now, I mean, unfortunately, when you're in that type of situation, you don't want to be labeled a snitch. You don't want to be labeled a snitch, and of course, the guards are going to tell you, to reports something that happens to you. But remember, R. Kelly's never been to jail before, and jail has a different code. So some of the things he may be doing could be putting himself at risk as well. So that I would just say that um, he has to be careful about that as well, and how he moves about there, because you know they really don't care, because a lot of them were not going to see the light of day, so they don't care if they get a notch on their belt for doing something to him. The other thing I thought was kind of disturbing was the fact that whew, the way they put him in the shoe, and how they put him in the shoe, and how he had to sing for the guards in hopes of getting extra food. I mean, that's crazy. And the fact that these guards are asking him to do that, that's a problem. Why she had to sing to anybody, for anything. But he says in his letter that was just a hope that he can get some additional food. Now you got to think about this. This guy has been is at one time worth over $100 million. Now he has to sing to a prison guard or guards in hopes of them provide him some extra food. Just a bad place to be in. A bad place. Um, yeah, so it's important to listen to his words, and but obviously they have to be timed with what's happening in the with these other cases. So you gotta be very careful there. I'm just hoping my guy Choke. I don't know how often he's doing the reading, but it's definitely. I'm gonna shoot him a text right now. As a matter of fact, he actually texts me. But those letters, just listening to him, he's doing a good job reading them. By the way, I want to let's give Choke a round of applause for the reading and the passion he's put behind the words. So I'm gonna give Choke, no joke, a round of applause for the way he's reading the letters. I mean, I was definitely uh, touched by the delivery and and the and the you can hear the desperation in R. Kelly's words. And I'm just not ready to throw this brother under the bus right now. I'm just not ready to do that yet. I'm being as objective as possible on both sides, but I'm not ready because there was a lot of things I heard during the testimony of certain witnesses that had me wondering uh, why they even showed up, and the fact that R. Kelly's engaged to Joycelyn, that gives motivation for a certain individual to uh, manufacture a story. So you got to look at everything and let them keep talking. Hopefully, there won't be things said that will uh, impede him from getting a fair trial in the other jurisdiction, or even nothing can happen to it as far as a appeal. But for his trials moving forward, yeah, gotta be very careful about what he says and who he says it to. Yeah, yeah. I spoke to one of my friends as an attorney, and yeah, she, obviously she's an entertainment attorney, uh, and she is like she's not a supporter of R. Kelly, but she understands that how the legal process is, and she too feels that this wasn't handled properly. Uh, uh, the fact that he was on charged with RICO and no one else being prosecuted says a lot. Uh, and unless they plan on charging other people in the very near future, this RICO charge seems like it was a possibly a means for people to try to make a career out of their, prosecuting R. Kelly. And if you're putting your hand on the scale and not allowing this man to get a fair trial by way of not giving him documents that he needs to prepare, not his attorney, but he needs it. If he's a defendant, and if the attorney's not able to see him or talk to him in private, from one of the letters that was read, apparently he had to talk in the near the shower to communicate with his attorney. There should have been a private room, for him to be there to talk to his attorneys. Why is he sitting in a special housing unit with other people who are hearing his case? And then according to the letter, he wasn't even able to communicate freely with his attorney that could potentially help his case. And something, I agree with Tiffany said. I'm gonna read a few comments before I leave. Tiffany said he should use this discernment because every word doesn't have to be read on YouTube. I agree. Uh, I agree that uh, if he's reading it in real time, which he shouldn't be. He should be. I mean, he should review the letters before he put it out there. And I know Choke is smart enough to know not to put things out there from his journalistic point of view not to put things out there that could potentially harm him. So, uh, and that's a call he has to make. Again, if the letters were sent to him for him to read it open, in public, then I guess he wants to abide by uh, Mr. Kelly's request. But again, that should be tempered with understanding the the negative that could occur by reading these letters openly. Again, he said that you know I don't. The thing is, it would be mailed out the way it works, unless it's mailed out to the attorney and then delivered to him. Chances are it was mailed out from the jail directly to him. Uh, and hopefully Choke is going over those letters with his his legal team, so making sure he doesn't say something that could harm him. Because again, um, this thing is moving at rapid speed, and the fact that he has 100 pages to read, that means R. Kelly pretty much put a book out. So we just have to see. Uh, Let me read a few other comments. Okay, and I have to tell you, I haven't had the opportunity to look at all Choke's videos. I looked at one yesterday and started one today, but I definitely want to listen to each one of his uh, videos and to dissect what is the takeaway from those particular letters and how those letters may be able to play a bigger part in him being adjudicated if he's innocent. Right, that's what I heard, Libra. I heard that as well. So before I leave, does anyone have any questions for me? Because a lot of you have listened to the letters. Uh, if you can even point me to a particular letter that he's read that you would like me to review the video, just shoot me a message. You can shoot me one on my DM on. You can hit me on Twitter, Instagram, but not Facebook. Uh, I would Choke. I know Choke for years. He's not reading. He's not making up these letters, Angela. Uh, that's not his. That's not even in his DNA. And the other part to that is, if he had made up these letters, his attorney, R. Kelly's attorneys would definitely be filing papers against Choke. So he's not doing that. That's not even how you roll. He's not the guy who would say he's somebody's cousin, but can't even say who the father is if you're the cousin. He's not that guy. Uh, I can't talk about that. I do understand why they're being done in segments, but the fact is, he, Choke's been in the street for a minute. He doesn't rock like that, and So anyway, you don't know him, so you can't really uh, say that. Uh, let's see. Yes. Well, if I'm working on a movie, and I actually am working, actually I'm in the movie. The movie that we're working on now. We just started. This is our second day in production, and I'm actually doing an action scene in the movie. So, name of the movie is Champagne. It's a action-packed movie, and it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. So you're gonna see a different side of me. Yes, I got the acting bug. Actually, I was in actually two movies, but this one is going to be fun because now I can have some real fun, doing some of the things I really love to do. Mm. I hear you, Tiffany. Let's see here. Again, I haven't heard all the letters that he has, um, and maybe he's not talking about things in the New York in the Chicago case because that may impact uh, how that case goes. Oh, right. And the Chicago case is definitely about um, tampering with a witness, uh, destruction of evidence. So we don't know that we don't know that we don't know too much about. It's a lot of motions being filed, and I'm sure Sylvia's on top of that. I will definitely be looking at some of the motions in the next couple of days. But yeah, there have been a lot of motions filed in Chicago. Mm. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know what his fiance has in her possession, but I'm sure that she knows a lot of what because she lived in the Trump Towers with R. Kelly. So hopefully she's safeguarding his assets, the ones that she has access to. But yeah, it's going to be hard for him to file a police report for being inside. That's just a whole nother process. And unless he has pictures and everything, his stuff may show up on eBay, offer up, or whatever else place you can sell items. Like it'll be probably a 20 years auction somewhere. But again, you have to have the right to have it in your possession. Oh, Miss Fat, I agree with you. um, and from what I heard from the letters, R. Kelly actually told someone to write the letters, but in his words. So if they showed the letters, it was not going to be in R. Kelly's handwriting, based on what he said. So I don't know. Uh, Libra, I would think that he's probably repeating things because it's coming out of his mouth. Like, for example, when I had reported that he was engaged to Joycelyn Savage, there were a lot of people who said, nah, that's not true. That's not true. But he wrote in the letter that is in fact true. And how I know is because it was told to me by his legal team. They was engaged today during the trial. So why would the attorneys that were actually in the courtroom talking to him come out and give me a manufactured story? Because I can call the attorney out who said it, you know. But it was just confirmed. See, my brother Choke is in the building. Shout out to my brother Choke, no joke. So we just talking Choke. We were just talking about how do we know the letters are real? The fact of the matter is, you have communicated with R. Kelly, and your reputation precedes you, and no one would that knows you know you wouldn't even put yourself out there uh, about reading bogus letters. I mean, the fact that you've called people out for their bogus BS that they've been doing since this trial started or before the trial started speaks volumes. Okay, listen. Right. So don't hide Choke's messages. I don't need. Don't hide his message. That's my guy. I don't know who's let Cho's messages flow, please. I don't need to review Choke's messages. That's my guy. Let him talk. Absolutely not, Choke. You would not do that. You would definitely not do that. So you just gotta just let the brother read the letters. Uh, don't assume that they're not authentic because Choke is not putting himself out there like that. Unlike some of the people he has exposed, that I had questions about in the first place. And we know, I guess, Choke, I can talk about the my initial. I would just say my initial uh, uh, contact with the guy who's purported to be his cousin, and the way he got on the phone and couldn't answer a basic question from me and got very defensive. I knew then that there was a problem because if you were his family member and I asked you a direct question that you should have known the answer to, the first thing you would do is take to go on the defense. Yeah, I wasn't really trying to talk to the guy anyway. No, so Cho, keep reading the letters. Like I told you yesterday, yeah, the last letter was really touching. It was very it was sad, you know. I mean, you heard the desperation in the letters, and you did a good job in reading it. Again, you weren't here, but I said, like I said before, give him a round, choke a round of applause for doing such an excellent job in reading it because you can feel the the passion and the pain as well, and that's not easy, when you're trying to communicate someone else's message. So I commend you for that, my brother. Yeah. So keep reading the letters, keep it coming. Uh, you and I'll talk soon, guys. I have a ton of messages coming in, but yeah, we are just trying to get to the truth. That Choker's trying to get to the truth. I'm trying to get to the truth, and eventually we'll get there. We'll get there. Some people may have a conscience and start telling the truth, or sometimes you gotta just look under some rocks because there are a lot of rocks to look under. There are people who have been inserting themselves in this situation, but really are not there for the reason they are there that they purport to be there for. So watch out. Be careful where you get your information from, but just trust the process. It's not going to be easy, uh, one way or the other. Because there are a lot of people telling a lot of different stories. A lot of people telling a lot of different stories, but they haven't come into the court and told those stories, which is interesting. Hold on one second. I got my guy here. What's going on, bro? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't set that up. You want to put it? Should I just go? No, 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 no. Okay. All right. I got, ladies and gentlemen. I have a special guest in just jumping in the building. You might know him as the OG hip hop head. I know him as Choke No Joke. Ladies and gentlemen, my man Choke. What's up, Choke?
What's good? What's good, Dennis? How you been?
I'm good, brother. So, I was before you jumped in the room, I was talking about the some of the things that you spoke about in the letters, not that you spoke about, but that you read verbatim from R. Kelly. And I just essentially said that, first off, I thought he should have, based on listening to some of the things that you read in the letter, he should have probably testified.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see now that, you know, now that he put his words out there, they feel like, he could have saved himself by talking. But, whoever asked him not to testify, not to speak, I guess they thought they was doing what was in his best interest. But now when you read the letters, you see how, like, him not even getting his discovery until 2 weeks after he was convicted. You know,
Right.
That right there
And
is
we
everything, because you need your discovery to present your case.
right. And what I was saying about that is it doesn't matter that the attorneys have it. The defendant himself has to be able to review what they are presenting on their side. So, it's not an
So he
ineffective
can tell
counsel.
his lawyers what to defend.
Exactly. And he also spoke about, and just correct me if I'm wrong, he spoke about wanting to have access to his digital devices, and the judge granted his motion, but for whatever reason, the feds never turned it over. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. And they didn't give it to him till after the verdict.
Yeah, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And if there was something on those tablets that, for example, of underage girls, that would have been out. Wouldn't you agree?
Say that again.
If there was something on those tablets that involved underage girls, that would have probably been out during the
Yeah,
trial.
that's what he said. He says that. I don't know if you got to, I don't know if I read that letter yet. But yeah, I think that was in the last letter that he said, like, they had all his iPads, all his iPhones for 2.5 years. If it was anything on there of illegal, him under or any women underage, any illegal sex tapes, any child pornography, they had his stuff for 2.5 years. They would have put it out. It was nothing on there that incriminated him. That's why they held on to it until, I guess, after the trial, so he couldn't prove that.
Can you talk about, and this is a question that some people are having, can you talk about why you believe R. Kelly shared these letters with you and not anyone else? Like a lot of people running around saying that they know him, they this, they that, but why do you feel that he shared these letters with you?
One, I'm gonna be honest. Am I afraid of anybody?
Not that I know of.
Can I be compromised or brought by anybody?
If that was the case, you would have been brought a long time ago by you know who.
Exactly. So why do you think he came to me? Because I'm the person that, you know, was going at, expressing my feelings about Jay-Z, about the industry and telling everybody the truth for years. For all these other people that he may have could have got in contact with and had them do it, look how many of them are compromised. Look how many of them deal with the ops. Look how many of them turned against him and get cool with other people. Who else could he trust in the whole entertainment industry with a voice that cannot be compromised?
Do you think that
And that's my only reason I think that he came to me is because who else been fighting for the truth in this industry for the last 20 years of not selling your soul, not giving into this homosexuality stuff? Who's been telling you that for the last 20 some years? Me.
Choke. Choke, let me ask you this. Him and Jay had issues. Do you think that played a factor in him wanting to provide you with this exclusive information versus someone else because he knows that you don't have any allegiance to Jay-Z? If, say, for example, and I'm just putting it out there, people who said that Dream Hampton, who obviously was responsible for this documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, might have been funded by Jay-Z, who she in fact wrote his book. I want to say that was the not the Da Vinci Code, the book that she did. She authored co-authored the book.
Yeah, Jay-Z Decoded. Yeah, she
Jay,
wrote that too.
right. So this project, the Survivor R. Kelly, required a lot of funds to get off the ground. Uh, do you think that Jay-Z might have had his hands on this, or do you think it's a possibility indirectly?
I'm not gonna say yeah because that's some hard shit to prove. But if you're just looking at relationships, Dream Hampton used to be Jay's girl. If I walked into a network and said, "Hey, I want to do Surviving R. Kelly," the motherfuckers be like, "Hell no, you crazy? We're not going against Sony. We're not going against Jive. We're not going against R. Kelly. If I went into the BET and say I want to do Surviving Jay-Z, they would look at me like I'm crazy. So somebody within the industry that has power was able to get that greenlit. And being that Dream Hampton is the executive producer, when you look at it, it may be, being that, him and Jay had problems in the past, and then she winds up and being the executive producer. It could look like it could point to him. Not saying that he did it or not, but it do look like it could point to him. Because why would Dream Hampton, out of all people, be getting the green light on a Surviving R. Kelly documentary that's going to slander him and ruin his career and damage Sony's business? Somebody with some power had to get that green light. Because if I walked in there, they wouldn't dare tell me, "Oh no."
Right.
Unless I got a Diddy or a Russell Simmons or somebody like that behind me to say, "Yeah, green like that."
It's just the whole association. It's either you don't worry about the fact that, hey, Dream, you work with me, or the people know you're closely connected to me. What would be the fallout behind you doing a documentary against a person that I had an issue with? Those things are questions that obviously were asked during pre-production. During I'm sure that if um, she was, it's no if, she did the documentary, and the fact that he had an issue with R. Kelly, it kind of raises a red flag, so to speak. I'm not accusing him of anything, but I mean,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the fact that she,
but like I said, no network is going green like this shit unless somebody was powerful behind,
right,
and they wanted it to happen. You're talking about going against Sony,
right?
Sony's bigger than R. Kelly,
absolutely. But
so
also,
somebody in there with some major power was able to green like that shit and get it funded.
Right. And get it an award.
Yeah, and only those people within the power can do that shit.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say and say Jay-Z, but if push came to shove, I guarantee you, if it was a paper trail or email trail or text trail, if he was even asked about it, if they really wanted to research it, they could find out.
And someone asked the question, why is it that things that are being read is things that they know? But I don't think everything that's been read.
These are the motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they talking about. These motherfuckers is talking about the shit that they know. The shit you know is the shit that's been publicized already. You telling me you knew all the shit that he was going through in the jail cell?
Right, that part.
You tell me you knew about him having nightmares and getting kicked in his head and catching tuberculosis. You knew all that. You knew that the government didn't give him a discovery until 2 weeks after the verdict.
I didn't know that.
You knew that?
I didn't know it.
So if you knew all this stuff, tell me everything that he says in the letter about Drea. That person that says, "I'm telling y'all everything you know," because I didn't read that yet. So tell me everything he said about Drea. How they met, everything, every kid, every story he tell me. Tell that person in your comment right now to start typing everything that he said about Dre. If they know, if I'm saying everything that he said, tell me about that. And then tell me what I'm about to say in the next 100 and something pages. Tell them to start typing. Tell me, just give me bullet points of what I'm about to read in the next couple of letters. That person that said that.
Right. Would that be you, Libra? I ain't snitching, but I'm snitching.
That's who it was. Tell them to tell us. Just give me 3 bullet points on what I'm about to talk about next. Since I'm reading everything you already know, and I'm telling you already all the stuff you already know, and you telling me you knew everything that Dennis, did you know everything you read in the letter?
No, I didn't know about
and
the
you
discovery.
Was in the courtroom.
Right.
Was Libra in the courtroom with you?
I don't know who she is. Or he.
Oh, okay.
Right. No. And I would just say that keep reading the letters because, obviously he didn't take the stand, but he's talking now. And I'm sure a lot of people still are interested in what he has to say. And the other question I have for you is, as you read the letters, do you read them before you go live, or you read them in real time?
No, I read them before I go live
Okay, so
because like the handwriting and the grammar, the punctuation, the spelling. It's a nigga in jail writing it. So, some words are spelled wrong. Some shit I gotta read the whole paragraph before. Okay, see you later. Read the whole paragraph before I can kind of figure out what the words that are misspelled are trying to say.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what I do is I read it and I record myself as I'm reading it.
Okay.
And then what I do is I go and correct
the tense of this letter.
the mistakes, the long pauses, me trying to figure out what the hell this nigga's writing. You know what I'm saying? And then what I do is I just compress it, and we're taking out all of the long spaces and me trying to figure out what the hell he's saying and this, that, and other. But everything is verbatim. I just don't read it live because some of the words is hard to make out. And, the way I can make them out is by the following words in the sentences. Or if the word is spelled wrong, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is this word? And then you read a couple of words and say, oh, okay. So, I mean, for the most part, whoever's writing this, that he's telling the words and they writing it down for him, for the most part, they can spell, they can write, but it's just, it ain't all the punctuation and the grammar and everything like that. It's not 100%. So to try to read it live, it is very difficult.
My other question is, during the course of you reading these letters, he has an impending case in Illinois in another jurisdiction. Well, if there comes a time as you read these letters before you go live and you see something in the letters that could compromise his case, are you going to exercise caution in doing so in reading the letter, or are you going to kind of fall back and just to wait?
For one, I don't want to edit his words. His words is his words. And if it's something in there that he don't want me to say, then I would know not to say it. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But if, for example, because he's in a situation where obviously he's crying out for help. And sometimes when you do that, you might miscalculate the things that you say to the public. And in this instance, you are the public, his vehicle to the public. So I guess my question is, if there's a time when you read a letter and this may harm his case, are you going to still read that, or are you going to? Is it going to be full disclosure, so to speak?
Well, I'm not. I'm not going to read anything that I'm told not to. I'm not going to read anything that I'm told not to read.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if it's I'm sure if it's something in there that he feel like is going to hurt him, then he's not going to put it in there.
Okay. Okay.
Or he's going to say, don't read this. But as far as I know, like, he's just being transparent about his life. He's not. Him being quiet is why he's convicted.
Right. Okay. All right. And
You know
so,
what I'm saying?
in closing,
Like,
let me say this in closing. Based on everything that you have in your possession, and obviously you haven't read everything, but what is your thoughts about what's happening to his brother right now?
I feel like he got railroaded. Like, he didn't get a fair trial. For him not, just for the fact that me and you know how this works, just for the fact that he was locked up for 2.5 years and didn't get his discovery until 2 weeks after he was convicted, that tells you everything. Because how can you, if nobody knows what the discovery is, the discovery is all your evidence that you can prove your innocence with. The government held his evidence to prove his innocence until 2 weeks after he was already convicted. So he had nothing to show his lawyers to show, hey, well, she's lying about this because look at that. Like, she's lying about this because look at that. He's lying about this, but look at that. And I got proof of this because look at that. If he got all this proof and they don't give it to him to 2 weeks after his the verdict and he's convicted and found guilty, how did he ever have a fair trial when they held all his evidence to prove his innocence?
These are questions that obviously had to be asked. I'm also concerned as to uh, did they preserve his cloud account, because these things go onto a cloud. Now, things can be removed off of a device, an Apple device. I have Apple devices, but did his legal team write a letter to the carrier to preserve his cloud information? Because obviously, if they haven't received the actual tablet for them to put a forensic person on the
now. They got them now.
right. So we just want to make sure everything, the integrity of the tablets haven't been compromised. That's all.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm not. That I don't know.
No. That's a question for his legal team.
Until he got his hands on it to look to see if anything was deleted or missing. But from him, they had his information. They had all his property for even. They even was able to go into his storage and his place of residence, and they searched everything. If they found anything illegal as far as underage girls or child pornography or everything, for a fact that shit would have been on TMZ and everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years.
That's right. And
he didn't even have it. They had it for 2.5 years. They went through everything with a fine tooth comb.
Absolutely.
They would have presented it in court.
What did he say about his engagement to Joycelyn Savage? What was he talking about? Because I didn't get a chance to. Listen.
He says that the only reason he's staying strong is for Joycelyn. Because she stuck by his side and he engaged, and that's he's looking forward to coming home and getting married to her. Outside of his family and his immediate family and his fans, this is why he hasn't fucking lost his mind, because he got something to fight for: his fans, his family, and his fiance. And he's looking forward to coming out and marrying her.
I wondered, because she lived with Azriel Clary. Why didn't she come and testify at his trial? Did he speak on that?
I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why she didn't testify in his trial. And I kind of posed a question to his attorney, Mr. Kennick, but I didn't get an answer to that. And obviously, he wasn't going over strategy with me. I'm a reporter. But I thought maybe he could have revealed that, because this particular case, is over in the sense that she can talk about it. She has nothing to do with this other case in the other jurisdiction. So I'm just curious why she didn't testify in the and maybe you can ask that question to him. Why does he believe she didn't testify, or he advised her not to testify?
Yeah, I mean, when you really look at it, were all them girls up there lying? Was Joycelyn's testimony really gonna help him for a man that they held all his discovery for 2.5 weeks after he was convicted? Like, what was Joy going to do? He didn't even have his discovery. And then look at there's the other thing when he was in the SHU, in the SHU, the isolation. They had him having his legal calls from the SHU. They sticking a phone through the slot, and he's talking to his lawyers, and every inmate in the goddamn in the cell block can hear his conversations with his lawyers. What happened to client?
Right, client attorney privileges.
Yeah, like what happened there? How is he on the phone talking through the CEO sticking the phone through the slot? And he got his ear to the slot, having a legal meeting, and everybody in the cell can hear him talking.
Another issue for appeal.
That's what I'm saying. So what the fuck was Joyce? Pardon my friend, but what was Joyce going to do when you got all these things against you? She's just one person, brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be tuned into your. I'm going to be, we're taping the movie. Before you got on, I was talking about the movie that we're working on called Champagne, and actually, I'll be on set, but I will be. This is going to be my obviously uh not pastime, but I'm going to be listening. You're going to shoot me a link so I can just kind of tune into when you start your reading, and I think the his fans and supporters are interested in what he has to say, and I commend you for taking on this role as someone to be able to at least be a voice to someone that doesn't have a voice right now.
Yeah, and it's very hard, bro, because nobody I know in this entertainment industry wants to stand by R. Kelly. Nobody wants to help him because they are going on, the past allegations. And it's a difficult thing when you got all these people that worked with you, all these people that you wrote hits for, all these people that smiled in your face before you went to jail, right even up to the indictment, that now nobody wants to fucking help you. Nobody wants to be a character witness for you. Nobody wants to do nothing. And then I got all these people, like this person in your chat, saying, oh, you talking about shit we already know. No, he's talking about shit you already know. I'm not telling you shit. I'm just repeating. I'm just reading the letter. I'm not telling you shit. He's talking. So he's telling you what you already know, since you know him so fucking much.
But to be honest,
people get me frustrated.
None of these celebrities,
all these bullshit, and they don't even fucking notice me.
I mean, to be honest, none of these celebrities want to fumble the bag, and it's just not sexy enough for them to be a part of this, and this is he's in a.
Come on, everybody gonna be right in his face.
Yeah.
You seen it? We seen it with Chris Brown.
That's right.
R. Kelly was Chris Brown when the Rihanna shit happened. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then what happened after he did the Michael Jackson tribute? Everybody jumped right back on his dick again.
That's right. I think this one's gonna be a little different. I think it's gonna be different, and then,
Because if the conviction gets overturned and he come home, or he comes home on no appeal, then everybody gonna feel like, oh no, he was innocent. He got the appeal. I can stand next to him. Oh, they overturned it. I can stand next to him. That's how they gonna play it. That's how they gonna play it. Oh, he was found not guilty. Yeah, I know he was guilty, but the conviction got overturned, and then everybody will be jumping in his face. And then just like with Chris Brown, oh, Rihanna played a part in it. Rihanna played the part in it when everybody started forgiving Chris Brown. But when Jamie Foxx and all of them shut him down and then let him perform at the BET Awards all that year because Jamie Foxx was hosting, I don't want that nigga here, and didn't let him perform. Jamie Foxx was right in his face again when everybody accepted him back. So I see the same shit with R. Kelly. You'll see Tank, you'll see Tyrese, and all these niggas right back in his face as soon as he get out on his motherfucking appeal or they overturn his conviction. Watch. I guarantee you. And he want to make some of the best music he ever made.
Well, I'm sure he's writing in there. But Choke, thank you very much, my brother, for joining the channel. I'll be on your channel whenever you need me. But I look forward to you continue doing what you're doing as far as reading these letters. And again, you can reach out to me. You need me, I'm here. You got me.
Well, I'll definitely be reaching out to you in the near future. I just read like a whole another 100 and something pages that I'm going through now. So I don't know if I'm gonna come back tonight with some more or tomorrow, but I'm definitely trying to come back tonight with it. But like I said, it's so much, and then when you're reading it, it's very emotional. So it's hard to just read it and just put it out because it triggers your emotions.
Absolutely. Off topic, Troke. You appeared at our Atlanta screening for True to the Game 3. What did you think about the movie?
It was good. It was good. I liked it.
You like how we ran the carpet? You like, you like how?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
All right.
I had a great time.
Well, I appreciate you, brother, for supporting the movie. Shout out to Terry Woods, someone you interviewed, and shout out to
Yes,
Manny, Rodney Turner, as well as Yolanda Holly for obviously allowing me to do what I do and bringing it to the public. Uh, True the game in theaters right now. Choke no joke. Appreciate you, brother. We're gonna be talking soon.
all right, man. I'll speak to you in a minute. And Queen Diva, I'll probably do a panel tonight if I read another letter tonight.
That's what's up. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my brother Choke no joke. Again, uh, commend him for what he's doing. Uh, I want to talk about something before I leave the channel. I was, I was surfing the net, and I saw a post about a man who killed his girlfriend and his ex-wife, and he went into this whole monologue about why he was doing what he did. Apparently, he was being accused of child molestation by his wife, and uh, he I assumed he moved on, but clearly he didn't. And he was on the video talking about how his girlfriend, he had issues with her, and he decided that he was. She said that she was going to, according to him, she said that she was going to make a false claim about molestation against the baby that is not born. And this is what I'm getting from it. I don't think the baby was even born. In any event, or 6 months, the baby was 6 months. But in any event, uh, he killed himself. He killed her, the girlfriend. He killed the wife, and then killed himself. So, what point was he really trying to make? He wanted to make a point that he wasn't a child molester. He's just a murderer. I mean, just logic. There's no logic behind what he did. But what I'm upset about is the fact that people are actually putting that video out there and not thinking about the fact that these kids are going to be able to see that video at some point and see that the mother was murdered by the father. Some things just don't need to be on the internet, and that's just my personal opinion. I'm going to look into the story, but I mean, it's just sad all the way around. No one won there. Uh, and while I know mental health is a serious issue, um, this seemed like it was premeditated because you went from one crime scene to another one to commit murder. And while you know, in relationships you have issues, and God knows I have mine in relationship, but I know how to walk away. I mean, nothing's going to, because you can't come back from death. No matter what, you cannot come back from death or the act of committing a murder. You can't come back from that. So I don't, I can't side with what he did. I can't side with it. Um, I don't think people should be using that as a tool to justify what he did, or give it or excuse that person, because it was just you know you gotta let these things play out, because again, you can't come back from these type of situations. you know Again, I'm very disappointed about the posting of the video, but it's sad just the way it played out. And you got to realize that a lot of times when people post these videos, they don't have a background in behavioral science or sociology or psychology. They just putting stuff out there, not thinking about what it can do to family members, not thinking about the ramifications it can have on a community. So when you post videos about these tragedies, you have to bear in mind that they can have a different effect on different people for different reasons. And unless you have a background in behavioral science, sociology, psychology, just kind of think about what can these type of videos do, in posting it. I'm kind of very, very careful about stuff I post. as a journalist, and it's reasons why there's level of censorship because people handle things differently, and sometimes you got to be tempered, and when you're doing these type of things, and it's not always about getting the clicks. This is why YouTube flags a lot of videos as well because one, children have tools like these devices and they can surf the net. And why would you want your child to be exposed to something like that? Why would you want your child to be exposed to something like that? And why would you want other children to be exposed to something like that? I mean, I'm not gonna call a person out, but I did leave a post and called the person out on this page. Uh, we do so much uh, of posting, but we don't think about the significance or the effect it will have on people. Um, yeah, that's all. I just wanted to just put that out there. Let's post responsibly. I'm Dennis Bryan, Hip Hop Inquirer. This is for Hip Hop Inquirer. Shout outs to those who's been tuned in. Share the video, leave a comment, send a message, post, share. Go over to Choke's channel, watch him, as you read those letters. Uh, and if you have any questions for me, shoot me a message. Uh, that's all I got for you today. I appreciate you all who have stayed with me for the last hour and 22 minutes. Uh, I will promise I'll try to do more of these. I just have to make sure that I'm at a good place where I have connection. And hey, we here. And we'll see you soon. Peace.